So if I talk about my journey from day first, I was much worried about these classes because I joined first time any online class. I am keen interested in offline classes. It's quite difficult. I talk too much, or I can say I pin too much eye shot for each and every question. I'm much worried about my classmates, teachers. So when I joined them, I was an excellent adventure for me. I linked up with amazing individuals. It was a whale of time. Thank you, sir, and thank you everyone for that. In addition, I want to convey my gratitude towards Krish, sir. First online teacher I have. Am I audible to you, sir? So this code is perfect for you, sir. A good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and install a love of learning. Thank you so much, sir, for your feedbacks, for your activities, which you always provided us. Thank you so much, sir. So it's a good experience for me for my whole life. Sorry, I'm not able to. Wait a second. Give me a second, sir. Okay. So if I talk about the most enjoyed activity, so it's okay. Sorry, sir. So if I talk about the most enjoyed activity, so micro teaching. So I love to present that micro teaching for listening skill. I also got feedback from you, sir. So it was my first activities, first online teaching class, I can say. I listed about listening skills. So excellent class with all my classmates. They helped me a lot, I know. They supported me a lot. So I did this thing. So I enjoyed a lot, sir. So I talk about next. So, what is IELTS? So, if I talk about IELTS, so IELTS full form is International English Language Testing System, and agency who will take this exam. Now only IDP, before COVID, British Council also. So there are two agencies. Test is held on global dates, 4 dates a month in India, 3 Saturday and uh, sorry, 3 Saturdays and 1 Thursday. And certification TRF is valid for 2 years. So to become an examiner, either you need to have degree in English or 3 year full-time teaching experience. Also, for non-native speakers, you must have a minimum milestone 9 in writing and speaking. So they should be have their TRF. British Council and IDP allow using pencil for listening and reading whenever you go for exam, and pen or pencil for writing is depend on you what you want to use. So that's the things. So this is about IELTS. So most of the time, what type of challenges we have and our students have? So low confidence, if I talk about the student, lack of dedication, time management, poor language skills. Sometimes they are not too good in linguistic things, and lack of ideas and vocab. If I talk about trainers, then dealing with a student at different learning levels, because you have different type of student in a same class. So second thing is motivating the students, because this exam is very beneficial and crucial, sometimes crucial for them if they are adult. So teaching unfamiliar techniques and assessing students' level. Again, upgrading on skills on which we should work for whole life, I think so. So that is the next thing. So here from classes, so if I talk about my PDF, about second PDF, so we work on this. And first, if I say yes, in second class, we also work on loop input and some techniques we will use, brainstorming, And we also learned one thing, we should focus on student-centric techniques. Also here, if I talk about the speaking module, it also has 9 bands. It has 3 parts. Part 1 for introduction and general question answer round, part 2 for cue card round, and part 3 for follow-up questions. So it will take nearly 11 to 14 minutes. So IELTS has 4 parameters to check the student's speaking criteria: fluency and coherence, lexical resources like paraphrasing, vocab, building exercises we should do, and GRE. What is the GRE? GRE is the grammatical range and accuracy. So examiner should do drills for that thing, and last thing is pronunciation. So we should focus on GBPA. So it out as this about this. So grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and fluency. So this is all about speaking skills. So on our second day, I learned about it. So if I talk about listening, so we should use micro teaching method. So in which we use some listening lesson model for a student, because we should use some sub skills. Also, we do one thing. First, introduce tasks to them, then predict possible context and questions, go over new vocab, listen to recording first time and second time again. After that, you should review the answers, provide feedback and option to students. So this is if I talk about the listening sub skills. So okay, I will tell you about listening sub skills, like for listening for specific information, identify details, listening for gist, info underlying meaning, then signpost, listening to stress rhythm and intentions, I think so, prediction of content, and listening for specific informations. After that, so we should always one more thing which I want to discuss, like we should not use meta language. So we should use micro teaching method. After that, I want to talk about writing skill. So in my PDF 3, so I want to present this, like we have 2 tasks, task 1 and task 2. One is descriptive, it's task 1. So we have some pictures description in task 1 of academic. If we talk about the GT, general training, then we have formal, informal, semi-formal letters. So we have always find a question there with a question sentence. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features. And the second task is discursive. So we have essays in that. First task will take 20 minutes and second task we have 40 minutes to cover it, or to write it. So we should focus on task 2 first, because we have 75% weightage here and 25% here, because we have 3 band for task 1 and 6 band for task 2. So present a clear position or your opinion throughout the essay. So here we should use, first I want to tell you type of essay: agree, disagree, then advantage, disadvantage, positive or negative, so and other, like cause solution, problem solution. So we have different type of essays to discuss and write in this exam. So here we should use the power writing acronyms such as uh, mind map techniques. Like first we should plan, then arrange, write, edit, and review. Or we can say we should read again this thing. So we can find our proofread, we can say proofreading. So we can find our mistakes by own before examiner check that one. Also here we should make 4 paragraphs. Like first is introduction, then BP1, BP2, and conclusion. So here we should write 4 paragraphs. And if I talk about the parameters which IDP used to check this writing skills, then again uh, coherence and cohesion, task response or task achievement. Sorry, first is this, then coherence and cohesion, lexical resources, and GRE, grammatical range and accuracy, in which we should cover different type of structure of sentences, connectors, and modals and passives as well. So next I talk about video for reading skills. So I already told about this, sorry. So listening skills. Actually, I think so. I did some mistake to manage all these things. So I told you about this thing also. Very sorry. So here about the reading skills. So we have 60 minutes to cover it or complete it. We have also 40 questions and we have 3 to 5 paragraphs according to academic and GT. So we also have 6 sub skills to solve reading questions here. So here we should prediction, then predicting meaning of lexis, inferring meaning, and about the scheming. And then if you want to search briefly, then go for the scanning and intensive reading. So it's totally depend on type of questions. If I talk about matching questions, so we can do scheming only. We find out the fill in the blanks and other things. When then at the same time we should do scanning and intensive writing. So this is my PDF file. So now I talk about exam course planning. So here IELTS is not a teaching technique, it's a training technique. So we should make some studies and exam course planning should do according to that thing. So teacher generated exam courses we should use. So here we should some factors to consider here, like a student profile. So we should focus on their ages, age group, and language background. Like either they have mother tongue effect or either from that part of our country they belongs. Class size and proficiency level, age appropriate content we should provide them, like sometimes we have adults and sometimes we have teenagers or 12 parts students. So we should focus on age appropriate content, then learning context, time for the course duration, how much time they have to give. So time for course duration, class composition and availability of resources and technology. Like either they have some online resources, like if they have computers and system, then we should provide them some offline online materials as well, like CDs and other online tests. Otherwise we should provide them some hand notes, workbooks and practice books and books as well as a offline material. So learners motivation and goal are to have, it's two type of, we have students, we have intrinsic, they have self motivated and extrinsic. We should push them, we should we have to motivate them actually. So next is learners motivation and goal. Yeah, so teachers feedback is always crucial for them, for a student or for the candidate who want to give IELTS or any exam. Like, so a trainer should use different way of providing feedback to learner. Spelling, sorry. So we have two type of teacher. Some are overcorrect. They try to overcorrect each and every time to the student, and some are very lenient. Sometimes they avoid to give feedback to student. So we should give two type of we can do two type of things, accuracy and fluency. So we have two techniques for that. One is hot error correction and second thing is cold error correction. So if I talk about these things, then if you want to do for accuracy, you should do hot error correction. If you want to give them feedback of fluency, then you should do cold error correction. You should wait to finish that, and after that you should give the feedback to them. Otherwise, they can demotivate it. So how a teacher or trainer provide feedback to them? They correct immediately. If I talk about accuracy, they delay correction until the end of the day or any other day. Is they try to motivate them? Or if the student is very sensitive, sometimes ignore the error. So it's not good. I think so it's a negative technique. Praise immediately. Motivate too much a student. Praise after the activity for fluency. And then teacher use terminology, repeating the utterance, reformulation, establishing the meaning, and prompt using terminology to giving them feedback. So I talk about the next PDF. So offline and online teaching. So yes, we now in after COVID or before COVID, some are working, they don't have time to join offline teaching. They don't have time to go and join a center or a coaching center or a offline class. Then we should provide them online teaching. So we have two type of method now, online teaching and offline teaching. So we can say one more thing for that, synchronous learning teaching and asynchronous learning teaching. So in synchronous, we can say one-to-one or face-to-face with the teacher and the student. This is the method for that thing. And if I talk about asynchronous learning teaching, so here we have some material which we can provide them. Both have pros and cons or merits and demerits. If I talk about first merits, then foster information exchange we can do in a offline class, and but sometimes actually provide them, then we can communicate with them. Okay. So also one more thing, always a human interaction is always beneficial if we provide them. If I talk about cons, so sometimes technical difficulties, sometimes time management, they are the difficulties for synchronous or offline teaching. If I talk about the online teaching, so a student learn at their own place according their own time. Sometimes they are working, sometimes they have some issues. They can't join offline classes, so they can learn about that. They can, like some school going student want to do course. So you can easily do this course at their own place by using technical methods or technical material or digital material, we can say. If I talk about the cons, then requires greater self-discipline because a trainer can't sit with them and they can't provide immediate feedback or they can't manage a discipline with them. So this is the pros and cons about that. So if I talk about my future plans, yes, in my future plan, I want to focus on all skills and related sub skills. I also revise each and everything which I learned in these last days. Uh, in 10 days, I'm trying to apply these techniques in my real life practice. So I work hard for that. Especially, I also try to work hard to improve my speaking and writing skills. That's it. Thanks a lot, dear. Thank you, sir. Thank you, each and everyone. And a special thank to Tasni and Ragna, sir, for yesterday activity. You supported me a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you, sir.